Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX with me, Devika Chopra. We begin with the headlines this hour. Pakistan continues violation of ceasefire along the LOC for the 11th day as tensions remain high between India and its neighbour following the 22nd April Pahalgam terror attack. Indian forces respond to the ceasefire violations across Poonch effectively. As per sources, security forces in Jammu and Kashmir have recovered 5 improvised explosive devices from a terror hideout in the Poonch district. The recovery comes amid a massive manhunt for the terrorists who gunned down 26 people in Pahalgam. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has held talks with his Japanese counterpart, General Nakatani, against the backdrop of the rising tensions between India and Pakistan. India has cut off water flow to Pakistan from the Baglihar Dam on the Chenab River and is also preparing to taper down runoffs from the Kishan Ganga project on the Jhelum. The United Nations Security Council is set to hold closed-door consultations to address rising tensions between India and Pakistan following the 22nd April Pahalgam terror attack. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has arrived in Pakistan, which Tehran claims is part of regular consultations with neighbouring countries. This comes as Araghchi announced he will be visiting India next week. In the midst of escalating tensions with India, a Turkish naval ship has arrived at the shores of Pakistan. The visit of the Turkish naval ship to Karachi has been claimed as a goodwill visit aimed at strengthening maritime cooperation between the two nations. In wake of the Pahalgam terror attack, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif holds telephonic conversations with his Malaysian counterpart Anwar Ibrahim and shares Pakistan's serious concerns over prevailing tensions in Southeast Asia. And our top focus, Pakistan's military has said that it has conducted another missile test, the second in 2 days. And since tensions with India have soared over Kashmir, the military said in a statement that the launch was aimed at ensuring the operational readiness of troops and validating key technical parameters, including the missile's advanced navigation system and enhanced accuracy, adding that the surface-to-surface missile had a range of 120 kilometers. My colleague Ajay Jandal with us on the broadcast. Ajay, take our viewers through the details, please. Pakistan claims to have conducted a second missile test.
Yes, Devika, State Pakistan once again tested another missile, and this is surface-to-surface missile, which is having a range of 120 kilometer, and they have today tested it, and this is the second missile testing in last 2 days as far as the Pakistan is concerned, because amid ongoing tension between India and Pakistan after the Pahalgam attack. Pakistan basically is scared of Indian attack, and that's why they are giving any kind of statements, whether they are their ministers, whether they are generals. So that's why these kind of testings of missiles shows that Pakistan basically want to show India that we are also prepared for the war. But the one thing is very clearly mentioned and conveyed to Pakistan as well, that whosoever is responsible for the terror attack and the masters of the terror attack will not be spared. And if Pakistan feels that they are the master, then they will be punished in the coming time.
All right, Ajay, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Major General Anuj Mathur, defense expert, with us as well. Major General Anuj Mathur, thank you for speaking to NewsX. I want to understand from your perspective, sir, what do you make of Pakistan conducting regular missile tests in the past 11 days?
Devika, I want to tell you one thing very, very clearly. One, most important, that these systems are not new. They have not carried out any new, weapon system, displayed any new weapon system. These are old missiles held by them, and as you said very rightly, they are judging, trying to test their technical parameters, their readiness to be able to fire, And this is a Fateh missile, and it is a surface-to-surface missiles. The fact continues to remain, Devika, the reactions of Pakistanis are disproportionate. Why disproportionate? Because, they are actually haunted by our actions in the last two times around when we did the surgical strike, and Balakot actually haunts them, and they are not too sure as to how, where, and when Indian Army is going to act, or so they are preparing themselves. But in a war of this kind, Devika, the most important issue is eventually everything boils down to the economics. And if you can, impose a higher economic cost onto the nation you are up against, you will see that that's a beginning of the victory. And today they've spent 5,000 crore, 7,000 crore rupees already. That too, when India has not mobilized even one truck. India has not taken any military action so far. They have not even tested any missile, anything, nothing except INS Surat going to the high seas in Arabian Sea and conducting some missile test, because that was a good well-intended lesson given to the Pakistanis that in the current kind of economic disaster that you people are in, if there is a blockade of your Karachi port and Gwadar, you will be left with nothing. So that was the cause, that was the reason. But to my mind, such tests, they are doing it for themselves, and there is no need for any panic or any reaction from our side for such tests. It's their weapon system. They are at liberty to do what they want. But the fact of the matter is, there is nothing new. We all know exactly how many Fatehs they have, how many Abdalis they have, where they are located. All these informations are, Devika, available with us, and there is no need to panic. But one very good thing that is happening, to my mind, is that they are overreacting for everything, whether they are, whether going to people for help, going to Malaysia, going to Turkey, getting some shipment from Turkey, getting half a dozen, C-130 loads of weapons from there. Actually, they are today Panikistan. They are in a state of absolute panic, and they are spending money. And in the same breath, I want to tell you that this, disproportionate reaction is not because India has declared war, which India hasn't. We have not moved anything. It is because they know two things. One, India now has a sound political will to do anything. And two, India has the military ability to strike Pakistan wherever and whenever they like, and whichever manner, whichever quantum they like. So these are the two factors, to my mind, which are prompting Pakistan to overreact and carry out disproportionate reactions, and they are actually paying a fairly heavy price for that. Devika.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast with that perspective. We leave it there. China's ambassador to Pakistan, Jiang Zhaodong, has called on President of Pakistan, Asif Ali Zardari, at a time when Pakistan is in panic mode after the Pahalgam terror attack. My colleague Aditya Vadwan with us on the broadcast. Aditya, regular communication continues between Pakistani heads of state along with their Chinese counterparts and other Chinese officials. Take our viewers through the details.
Well, Devika, absolutely. Since this Pahalgam terror attack has happened, post that, China has been in regular touch with Pakistan. The Chinese ambassador has had several meetings with the foreign minister of Pakistan, and now he called on the Pakistani president Asif Ali Zardari. And if sometime back, if you see, China has also supplied PL-17 missiles to Pakistan for its JF-17 Chinese aircraft. So it clearly indicates that that China is on the side of Pakistan, and for quite some time, we have seen that the China has been building this China-Pakistan economic corridor in the Balochistan area, where the BLS supporters have been opposing the presence of Pakistan and China. At this juncture, there are only some handful countries like Turkey, Azerbaijan, and China which are on the side of Pakistan, and this shows that that China and Pakistan are an all-weather friends. They have been reaching out to each other at many occasions in the past also. So this needs to be seen. However, this will not save Pakistan from the isolation at a global level, because Pakistani establishment, be it ISI or army or the political establishment in Pakistan, is already in a mess and a state of shock and fear. Yes, Devika.
Okay, Aditya, stay on with us. More news coming in. The UN Security Council will be holding a closed-door consultation at 4 p.m. ET at the UN headquarters on the situation between India and Pakistan after Islamabad sought an emergency meeting amid rising tensions between the two nations following the terrorist attack in Pahalgam. Pakistan currently sits as a non-permanent member on the 15-member Security Council, which is being presided over by Greece for the month of May. Islamabad has requested closed consultations on the tensions between the two countries and the Greek presidency. Aditya Vadwan, my colleague with us on the broadcast. Aditya, take our viewers through the details.
Well, if you see, what has happened, that Pakistan is again and again pressing for an emergency UN meeting, because, it is scared at the moment, because it knows that all the major countries are with India, and, the Pakistani establishment is in a state of complete fear and shock, because, they are fearing a retaliation by India, and that is why, they have been making crazy statements on the international forum. Sometimes they ask for help from China, and sometimes they ask the United States to mediate in this issue. But however, all these impulsive incidents, impulsive reactions by the Pakistani establishment shows that they are in a state of fear and shock.
Okay, we seem to have lost our connection with my colleague Aditya. We'll leave it there. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has dismissed a PIL seeking safety of tourists in the remote hilly areas of Jammu and Kashmir in view of the recent Pahalgam terror attack in which 26 civilians lost their lives. A bench of Justices Suryakant and N. Koteshwar Singh pulled up advocate Vishal Tiwari for filing the PIL and said that it is only meant for publicity without any public cause. The petitioner lawyer said that this was the first time that tourists in Jammu and Kashmir were targeted, and hence he was seeking directions for their safety. The bench in its order said the petitioner is indulging in filing one after the other PIL, in which the primary aim appears to be to get publicity with no real interest in public cause. My colleague Sambhav Sharma with us on the broadcast. Sambhav, is this a different PIL from the one that was filed earlier before the Supreme Court, and what exactly have the courts said this time around?
Well, this was a different petition, the public interest litigation. This was filed by Advocate Vishal Tiwari, and again, the Supreme Court has come down heavily on the petitioner for filing such kind of petitions. The top court bench led by Justice Suryakant said while dismissing this particular petition that it is not maintainable, one, and it is aimed at publicity. When it is asked, when it was argued in the court that what is the point of this petition not being maintainable, then the Justice Suryakant remarked that you are not understanding the sensitivity of the issue. The Supreme Court has criticized the petition as a publicity-driven and lacking genuine public interest. The bench was of Justice Suryakant and Justice N.K. Singh, and the petition was filed by Advocate Vishal Tiwari in the wake of a Pahalgam terror attack. And the petition was seeking enhanced safety and health measures for tourists visiting hilly and the areas like Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir. So finally, this is the second petition in line which was dismissed by the top court of the country when it comes to the Pahalgam terror attack.
Right, Sambhav, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Meanwhile, the Punjab Assembly has paid tribute to the victims of the Pahalgam terror attack. At the beginning of the session, the members of the House remember the 26 people who have been killed in the terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir on the 22nd of April and strongly condemned the cowardly act of terrorists against unarmed tourists. The House expressed hope that the centre and the state government will not leave any stone unturned to bring the perpetrators to justice and also ensure that such incidents do not repeat. My colleague Vipin Parmar with us on the broadcast. Vipin, take our viewers through the details, please.
Of course, so this special session which was called upon by the Punjab government after the clear rift between Punjab and Haryana government over blocked waters there at Nangal Bhakra Dam there in Himachal and Punjab border. So today itself, Bhagwant Mann, after
Vipin, can you hear me? All right. In other news, 3 more people have been apprehended from different parts of Assam for defending Pakistan on Indian soil following the Pahalgam terror attack, taking the total number of arrests to 42 so far. In a post on X, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma said 1 person each was apprehended from Barpeta, Hojai and the Chirang districts. 42 people have been arrested so far for siding with Pakistan in the aftermath of the terror attack. My colleague Nibir Deka will be joining us shortly to take us through the details, but this is the latest that we're learning. 42 people have been arrested for defending Pakistan in protests taking place in Assam. A major crackdown is underway by the Assam government. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma says that such... All right. Okay. We will be joined by Nibir in just a short while from now. We seem to be having some technical difficulties, viewers. We must slip into a very short break.
अगर आप बनना चाहते हैं